Hi, today I'm gonna talk about how we can do a basic digitizing using the Embird. So for this video, I'm using the Embird embroidery software, and I'm gonna specifically use the digitizing tool. And also for that purpose, I'm using this flower from the Open Clip Art, and we'll digitize that. Here where you open the Embird, usually comes into this browser menu that you can browse your um, any design that you have, and here you can switch into the editor or into the digitizing tool. So just click here, it will close this one and open the editor one. So basically, if you have a design, previous design, and you just want to do some editing, some color change or resizing or all those kind of things, you can do it here. And if you click on this one, this is the one we want to use today, and it's going to be the digitizing tool that it will open. So before I start, a little to say how we'll do that, just a little bit about the GUI. So here on the top, usually all the stuff are about the zooming or the stitch types, and all those things are here. On the left side, that we have are the type of the stitch that we are going to draw the stitch here, with most of them using for drawing the stitch. And here is going to be the sequence object. Sequence of the object is going to be here when we start to work with that. And down here also is the tab that shows different type of view for what we are drawing. So very first thing that we want to do, that just first come here, click on the hoop and set the size of the hoop. So for this hoop, I set it for 100 by 100 or 4 inch for 4 inch. Or you can set it on any hoop size that you want, apply it, and then we have the hoop size set to that specific size. So before I bring the image, I'm gonna a little bit talk about the stitch type and what we have here. And one other thing that you can do before starting, also here you can go ahead and set the style. After you have to draw something, and then you can come and set the style, and basically it sets the style to whatever type of fabric you have. So basically optimize it. I think it optimizes the properties of the stitch. If I remember, I will show you again how to do that. But basically you draw that, come here and apply the stitch, and if you click on the edit, it shows you how it's gonna choose different properties for different type of fabric here. So you choose that fabric, and this is how it's going to change the stitch type or stitch properties. Anyway, so before I start to show how you digitize it, let me just very quickly talk about type of the stitches we have. Probably the most typical type of the stitch we have is the just running a stitch that will start from one point and end at another point. To do that, here we use this one, and anywhere on hold the mouse on any of them, it shows what it is doing down here. So here is the it creates the edge. So I can, for example, assume I want to draw something, so it's gonna be like that, and when I'm done, either press enter or click on that, and then it's finished. So this is a stitch that starts from one point and ends at another point. And then to assign the stitch to that, I will click on the parameters, and usually I can come here and select what type of stitch I want. For example, I want the sketch stitch, and click on generate a stitch, and it will generate that. And if I go on the 3D view, so I can see the zoom in, you can see the stitch. again, if I want to change the type of the stitch, I click on the parameters, go there and change it, for example, to single stitch, and again generate a stitch and change. So that's one type of a stitch we have. The other type that we use it a lot is that it's going to be the fill stitch. So basically the closed area that filled with stitches. So click on this button here and you draw the area you want. So that's my area. I don't want the last point, so I just press enter and then it will create it for me. So it's going to be the closed area, and this closed area I want it to be filled. So I come here, usually just select this, it's auto fill. I can select that or change with the properties and generate a stitch, and it's gonna create a fill stitch for me. The other type of the stitch is satin stitch, and there are two ways of doing that. One of them is just use the same thing here. Say that, for example, go here and make the object, click on the parameters, and here click on the auto column and generate a stitch, and it's going to generate a satin stitch. The other way of doing that is using this icon here. Click on that and make sure here, come here and choose the A and choose the B. Basically it's like that. You choose one edge and the opposite edge, and then one edge, the opposite edge, one edge, opposite edge, and it's gonna create the satin stitch along that. So it's one edge, opposite edge, one edge, opposite edge, and one edge, opposite edge. And whenever you're done, press enter and then click on parameters, and then you have these satin properties, and it's gonna create a satin stitch for you. That you can use it. So these are the type of stitch. There are other type of stitch or motif that we can use. That, for example, again, if I come here, make a closed area, press enter, and then click on that, and this time click on the motif, and you can go and choose any type of motif from here that you want. Assume that's the one, and then select create a stitch, and it's gonna create a stitch for me. Also, if I have, I can create the outline as well from the fill stitch. So for example, I have this one. I want to create the outline, so I come here, create, and say convert it from outline. So one of them converted to the stitch, one of them converted to satin. I never remember which one is which. So I click on the top one, and you can see here. So it's a and I'm gonna let me move it so you can see it. Let me resize it. You can actually see. So this is the outline created from that one, and then you can click here and then change it, for example, to any type of stitch that you want. As I said, another type is that if you go there and convert it, the second one, it converted to, I'm just gonna again make it a little bit larger so you can see it, and again click on that, and this one is going to be the satin outline. Sorry, it's going to be the satin stitch. So you can see it anyway. So this is probably all I want to say. One thing before I move ahead, so I can again let me select them again. Assume we have some point, you draw some point, and then you want to edit it. So just click on this button, and it lets you to go ahead and edit those points. If you can move it anywhere that you want it. and just press enter again any other time. If you want to add a point between them, you can come here, click add a point, and you can work on that. Also, if you have the close shape and you want again to edit it, you click on that and go ahead and move any point that you want, or the care of the point, any point you want. Or you also can, for example, if you want to add a point, you can click on that, it's going to add a point for you. If you want to make it a straight or curve, just click on that, so it changes it between a straight or curve, and you can, that's where you can edit it and then work with that. So let me delete all of them. So that's very basic. Now I'm going to show you how we can digitize it. So I'm going to image and import. If you have the vector file, you can import it here. With the image, you can import it here. Also, you can import it from here as well. Here. So click import in the image and import it, and say, do you want to fit it to the current group? And say yes. And zoom out. So that's what we're gonna work. So before you start, one thing that you have to think about it is the order of how you're gonna stitch, and based on that you digitize. So the way I'm gonna do that, I'm first going for this part, then for the leaves, and then for the purple part, and then the yellow part. So that's how I'm gonna do that. So I will start from here, and I will make that part a satin stitch. So I'm gonna click on this, zoom a little bit here, and wherever you have the edge, that edge of two objects or two stitches gonna meet each other, there's always a chance that when you stitch it, the fabric's gonna pull away and there's gonna be a gap between them. Because of that, we want to always make sure there's a overlap between the adjacent objects. So usually we go a little bit further toward that object. So one, and then adjacent edge, then here, then adjacent edge, then here, adjacent edge. So here, opposite edge, here, opposite edge, here, opposite edge, and here I'm gonna zoom in and I go a little bit inside that purple, so I make sure that it's overlap, and I'm done. So I press enter, so I zoom out, so then I will come here on the prompts, and I accept the default, so you can change it later on, but for now I accept. So also generate the stitch and generate the stitch for me. Then for the color, I can come here and click here, color from the catalog. So we'll go there. You can choose any type of the thread you want. I just choose a broader embroidery, and then you can go ahead and choose the, for example, the any color that you want. So I'm gonna choose this green for that. So I down here click on 3D, so I see it. Okay, this is what we have so far. So go back here. Now I'm gonna do the images. So I'm gonna do the leaves. So I'm gonna do this leaf and then this leaf here. So I'm gonna zoom in so I can see again. Now I click on this one, so it's a closed shape. Click on that. I will make sure that I have some overlap between the vertical parts of here. So I will start from here, and then I just to save time, I will go a little bit quick, so you can do it a little bit with more detail. And here, and then press enter, so it will close. So you see there's some overlap. I just want to that's okay. So I can bring it a little bit here again. Okay, So it has the overlap, and then I can go ahead and fix those. So I don't know if you see, I can grab those blue dot, and if it's not exactly where it is, I can go ahead and fix it. Okay. So I finished that. Click on the prompts, and I just use that simple full stick generate a stitch. And so I click it again. It's make it blue again. Again, I can go ahead and choose that green color. So make it green. Now I will do this leaf. So I will go ahead again, click here, zoom in, make sure I have some overlap. So again, I'll go a little bit the very coarse grid. Can do it with more detail. Just want to make sure. And then again, you can go ahead and want just edit it, make those curves that in a way that you want it. So for example, I can go ahead and make this here, make it a little bit more curve here, make it more curve here, and those kind of so can fix it. Okay, again, click on the prompts, generate a stick. So, and again, choose that color. So where is this one? Choose from the color and do that. Just remember, so one thing about the Embird is that anytime that you go ahead and do some kind of editing or some kind of manipulating the stuff, the stitch is gonna disappear. So you have to go ahead and click on this generate a stitch again. You can select on the parameters and generate a stitch, or you can just simply select it, click on the generate a stitch. It's gonna do that. So let's look at 3D. So this is what we have so far. So let's go back in the normal view. So I'm gonna do this purple part here. Now again, it's gonna be closed shape. So I click on that and zoom in. Because the yellow part is gonna be the last part, so I'm gonna leave some overlap between them underneath of the yellow. So it's gonna be there. Oops. Again, it's going to be overlap over this green part, so make sure if there's a pooling in the fabric, it's not going to leave any gap. And then press enter. And then I click on this one, go ahead and fix the curve. So I can fix the curve. So okay, and then in the prompts, again, just simple fill a stitch and generate a stitch. And then for the color, go ahead and let's choose this. That's for the color. So let's go back to 3D. So that's what we have. So I'm gonna just draw. We can copy and then rotate, copy and paste 4 of these and rotate it and locate it in the place that we want. But I'm just gonna draw them here. But I'm not gonna do this in a detail. So I'm just gonna start. I'm not gonna fix them. Just draw them to show you what we're gonna get. So the next one, again, click here. So I can, again, you see I leave an overlap with the green, with the yellow one. So the same here. So again, it's not going to leave any gap in case that there is a pulling away between any of these two parts. So, and press enter. And the last one, again, click here. So I go there and give a little bit gap. The green one, let's go there. And then I will select the first one, hold down the shift key, select the last one, select all of them. So go and assign the color, and then click on the prompts. Just again, simple fill, I'm not changing anything, generate a stitch, and it's gonna be there. So let's go back to 3D, see what we have. So this is what we have. So only thing left is the green one, and then adding some outline there. So go to normal, zoom in here. So again, this fill button, 1 point here, 1 point here, 1 point here, 1 point here, and there it is. Then we are going to adjust it. So we'll make this, make that here, and make that here. And this one is the straight line. So we have, I don't remember which one I should choose. So you can choose the nodes and say that, okay, say, okay, that's one. No, that's the previous one. Select this one and make it, yeah, by clicking up there, either this, so you can click on this one or this one to make it curve or straight line. So it's gonna be there. So choose the color, go there and choose the yellow color, just this yellow, and just again simple fill, and it's gonna be there. So if I go to the 3D, so yes we have. So I'm gonna add a black outline here and around that yellow part as well. So again, normal view, I click on this one because it's an open edge, I want the stitch, so I click on that. And again, you have to go right at the edge of this green line, so maybe that's not gonna leave. Again, I'm not gonna do it very delicately, but you can do with much more detail, so you get exactly what you need. Then I'm gonna fix that part later. So it's gonna be our outline, and then okay, and then I will choose the color. I want it to be black, so the dark gray, so it's black. And then I will go here, click on the prompts, and then I want to be a sketch. That 0.4 is okay. Generate the stitch, and then so let's go to 3D. So yes, this is the outline. So here I'm gonna fix that part. So select this. Oh, sorry. Go to the just vector view. So and select this. So I can edit that part. So I can that on here and press, and again after you edit it you have to regenerate the stitch. So and then I will add an outline here. So what I'm gonna do is just I'm gonna duplicate that. So it's gonna be duplicated, and oh sorry, no, I'm not gonna duplicate it. So I'm gonna just select that and go to convert and create the outline from that. So it's create the outline, and that outline I want it to be black. And are the prompts, and they're probably the satin stitch. There's going to be satin stitch 2mm widths. So here, remember, if you want to change any of those numbers, if you click on the number, it keep increasing. If you click on the value in front of that, it opens this box, so you can change it to any number you want. And then generate the stitch, so it's going to be there, and then it go to 3D. So this is our drawing. So we are done with the drawing. There are a couple of things that we need to work on that. One of them is that if you want to adjust the properties of any of those stitches, so we can choose any of them, for example, and then click on the prompts, and assume I want to change the angle, so I want assume I have the angle of 125, and then generate a stitch. And this one, again, assume I click on that, I want the angle of, for example, 45, and generate a stitch, so it's going to do that. The other parameters there, usually don't need to change them, but I'll just know the density is basically tells you how many stitch you have. So usually the 4 is the standard, so you don't see anything beneath that. It's not too dense, not showing anything beneath that. If you want whatever is beneath that to be shown, or the fabric being shown through the stitch, so you're going to increase this density to work on that. The other one that's very important is this pull compensation that I want to show you. You see, when we work here, what we did is that I put some overlap between the edges that touch each other. And the reason is that when we're doing the stitches, the fabric will be pulled, and it might leave a gap there. So to prevent that, that's what we do. So if I go to the vector part, go there very closely, you see here there's the overlap between these two drawings that I have it. So here and here. But the software can also does that overlap for us. So let me hide this and hide, I think, this. So here, if you look at it, the edge shows the edge of the drawing, and here are the stitch points. So if I choose this, I choose this and click on the prompt and click here on the pull compensation and make it 0, and then say generate a stitch, you'll see the stitch starts right from the edge. So then if there's going to be any pull, there's going to be leave the gap. So that's not what we want. We already kind of took care of that. You see, we left the overlap, but also you can do it this way. So you can again select that object, go to prompts, and here for the compensation, for example, assume 0.4, click and then generate a stitch, and you see this red line is the edge of our subject object, and there's this part of 0.4 overlap here, so it prevents to leave any gap here in case there is a pull. So that's the pull compensation that you have to be careful. The very last thing is that we need to be careful about is the jump stitch and trim. So if I click on the first one makes it go in the here, and can see it's the jump, so you can turn that jump on so you can see if there's any jump on your drawing. So if I click on the simulation button to see how it's going, you see there's a jump here, or there's a jump here, and there's jump in those colors. So let me see it finish here, and then it jumps down here, and then it goes and finish here, and then from here it jumps there. So we want to get rid of those jumps, so let me go to vector view. So one of the things we can do is that we have this one, and then it goes to this one. So from here, there's this button here, create a connection. So it basically connect the previous one to this one. So instead of having a jump, we are gonna stitch all the way down here, from here to here. So this part finish here, and this one start here. So instead of jumping from here to here, we are gonna stitch our way down here. How we are gonna do that? We are gonna hide our stitch beneath this outline. So let me turn off this outline, and then select this one, and I will select on the connect. So the connection is gonna create a direct connection from here to here. So let me hide that. So this is a connection that goes from here to here, and we want it to be hidden beneath that line. So I click on that, click on the edit, and I bring it right beneath that black line. So now when it's sewing, then we'll sew that black line on top of that. We don't see that jump stitch. So okay, and then now showing that. Now if I go ahead and select again on the simulation, you see the first jump stitch is gone. So this is the connection. So you see it's going up there, and then it sews, it's sewing back down here, and then it goes, and then eventually it will sew on top of that with this black. But still we have the problem with these two. So it comes here, and there is a jump from here to here. So there's a jump from here to here. I will try to bring that jump from here to here. Again, it's going to be underneath of the outline, so the outline go over there, and then we don't have a problem. So let's go to the vector. Let's hide the outline again, and I will select this, edit that, select this point, right click, and I place the end, the fill end point here. So it's gonna finish here, and then I will select this one again, edit, and I'm gonna select this point, and I will place the start point here, and then I will select this, and generate. Hold shift to select them, generate SD. So now if I go to simulation, I shouldn't sorry, that's the X-ray, so to simulation. So you see there's a jump is still there. So now can go there, choose this one and add the connection. Now the connection is right beneath them, so if I hide that, so the connection is right beneath here, and then when you sew the outline, it's going to be over that connection. So there's a connection generated, so the connection generated stitch, and it's going to be beneath that. So now if we go to the simulation, zoom out, so you see there's no jump stitch in the green, but we have 1 2 3 4 jump stitch in the pink one, so we'll go to see how we can fix the pink one. So if we go to the pink one, see what happened here. So let me so hide these two. So we have the pink one that goes from here, here, here. It's not actually that bad, but we can even make it a little bit better. So I click on that. It starts here, but I click here. I will say place the fill end here. Okay, and then I will select this one. So it starts here, but I put it and I place the fill end here. So the same here. Okay, I click on that. So it starts here, but I want it to end here. Place the end point here, and the same again for this one. I can also change the end start point, but I think the start point is okay. I only want the, so it starts here, go, and it's gonna be end here. And this one, it just starts here and ends here. That's okay. Now all these jumps, if I turn on the yellow, is gonna be hide beneath the yellow. And it's not going to be seen. If I don't want to have a jump at all, so I can come here, select this one, and add the connection. So it goes from here, and then I will select this one and add the connection. Right, select this one, add the connection, and I select this one, add the connection. So how it works is sew this one, then it run a stitch here, then sew this one, then run a stitch here, sew this one, run a stitch, sew this one, run a stitch, sew this one, run a stitch. So now if I unhide everything and we go to simulation, so there's no jump stick in the color. So I have to regenerate the, select all, generate stitches again. Okay. Select all and now go to simulation. So you see there's no jump stitch. So there's not going to be jump in each of the color. It's just a stop at or trim at the end of each color. This black one is here, which probably we cannot get rid of. There's no way that if we had the outline around that purple thing, we probably could get rid of that black one, but for now we cannot get rid of that, so probably we have to trim it. So after we get to this point, so unhide that as well. So go to the 3D, so we have everything is there. So everything is just prepared. You can go ahead and then either save it or export it to the machine format that you want, and then you can use it for on your embroidery machine. There are many other things that you can do. It's the very basics of digitizing with the Embird. I didn't want to go to the detail of how to do the more advanced stuff, but I think for the very basics of that, you can follow these steps. Also, before the very last thing, before I forget again, if you choose any of those objects, I at the beginning mentioned that you can come here and apply any of those style if you want, in case that you have the different type of fabric, so it can customize the stitch type. So if you choose any of them, and you can customize the stitch type based on that, or you can do it yourself if you need it here. So I think that is it. So that was the basics of using the Embird to digitize an image.